these soldiers got away with this murder.
If it was an ordinary Kenyan out there in Britain, by now he would be languishing in their jails.
We must continue to reject the continuous domination of the white man on our land.
Explosives being left uncollected and unattended to, and blowing up young boys.
This government should not allow foreigners to take advantage of our people.
Order number 10, motion, ratification of the agreement between Kenya and the United Kingdom on defense cooperation.
Agnes Wanjiru is a 21-year-old lady who died brutally, and we believe was murdered by the British Army, and had a 5-year-old child at that time. UK Army did not want, they decided to brush this under the carpet. Let's reverse the roles and look at it differently. What if Agnes Wanjiru had killed a white soldier? What will have been the case? Agnes Wanjiru's body was found 2 months after her brutal murder in a septic tank. The only reason that this body was able to be found was because it had become a Facebook taunt by the UK military officers, and one of them confessed that when they left the bar that night, one of their colleagues committed the heinous murder of Agnes Wanjiru. And 10 years down the line, even though the memories are fading, I don't think it is too late to find justice for the family of Agnes Wanjiru.
Wanjiru is a Kenyan, she's a human being, and looking into how Britain looks into human rights, they should be the first people not to ignore such a thing. That family must be compensated.
These are the human rights we care about. This innocent young girl that died in the hands of these British soldiers in Laikipia, these are matters, the matters of human rights that we want to hear being talked about by Britain to the people of Kenya. We give to outsiders many times at the expense of locals. Because it's surprising that for all the years that the British soldiers have operated in Kenya, they have used our land for training without a specific payment being made to the people of Kenya. And if we extended to several large parcels of land across the country, then I will not be surprised to find many multinationals using our land without having to compensate the people of Kenya or the government of Kenya for the use of that particular land. And sometimes this is where we discriminate against ourselves. And perhaps even, Madam Speaker, how these soldiers got away with this murder was we have a way of giving preferential treatment to outsiders, to foreigners, at the expense of locals, Madam Speaker.
I think these agreements are an extension of colonial domination. The British continues to dominate us through some of these agreements by, having their officers train, army people train in our land, and pretending to be giving us benefits. Madam Speaker, I heard the British High Commissioner say that since 2016, the British have spent about 5 billion shillings in supporting this program, and this money has gone into benefiting the economy of Kenya. Madam Speaker, this is quite peanuts. If you look at these agreements, they are heavily tinted in favor of the British. Even if you talk about the benefits, the subsistence benefits that I've heard from my colleagues, about 500 people employed, some casual laborers, they don't compare, Madam Speaker. And if these agreements are an extension of colonialism, we have to reject them. We need to think beyond the peanuts that this agreement is giving us in terms of employment of a few people. And lastly, Madam Speaker, this issue of Wanjiru is more than just death. It is, for me, an affront on the dignity of a Kenyan. And the fact that the British soldiers can come here and kill one of us, and then they take that officer who allegedly did the killing has been taken back to their country, and then they tell us that the investigation is not sufficient. I think this is really an affront on the dignity of an African. And we must continue to reject the continuous domination of the white man on our land, on the back of saying that they're giving us some peanuts, some employment of 500 people, Some little things. So, Madam Speaker, the philosophy behind these agreements is what this Parliament needs to focus on, not the little benefits that the British people are giving us.
The matter of Wanjiru is very, very sad. The matter of that young lady is traumatizing, to say the least. And until it is resolved, this country shall never be at peace with itself. Crime is crime, and murder is a crime. And therefore, we cannot exempt murder among those crimes or criminal acts that the host nation is required to try. When you commit murder, Madam Speaker, in a host nation, that host nation must have the jurisdiction to try you. To try you. Whether you have left the country's jurisdiction or not, you must be extradited to face trial. Because we may have similar cases in the future. Yeah, what shall we be telling Kenyans, especially my good friends from Laikipia, who are hosting this facility, that in future, if any other Kenyan would face the fate of Wanjiru, it would just go like that? No, no. We must send out a very strong message that anybody in this country who is aggrieved upon by these forces, the visiting nation forces, will have the chance to get justice.
Soldiers were joking for one of them to say that, oh, you know, my colleague so-and-so killed a Kenyan lady. That should not happen. In the county of Laikipia, in Isiolo, in Samburu, there are cases of unexploded ordnance devices, cases of rapes reported, cases of accidents by Batuk vehicles. What we are asking through this particular agreement is justice must be served in the courts of Kenya, not in the courts of the UK. The areas that Batuk is training in, these are pastoral areas. The pastoralists are normally herders, where they look after cattle, goats, and sheep, and camels. Their areas are sparsely populated. Nobody should take advantage of these people. Finally, they could suffer disadvantages because many of them are illiterate. Many of them are people with small means. Nobody and this government should not allow foreigners to take advantage of our people.
I concur with the government of Laikipia County about commitment, the British Army, the Batuk, committing several atrocities to the people of Laikipia, not only that are harmful to the people, but also to the environment. We really remember vividly what happened in Rodaiga, the fire incidents, whereby even today, people are suffering from lung diseases. Some of them have been hospitalized, and we have also lost life.
And even issues, Honorable Speaker, that we have seen of landmines and explosives being left uncollected and unattended to, and blowing up young boys and herders as they had their livestock, Honorable Speaker, that the troops, wherever they train, they also remain very sensitive to the communities around them.
If it was an ordinary Kenyan out there in Britain, by now he would be languishing in their jails. But somebody just walks here, and all of a sudden, they commit that crime, and again, it's not fair. It is all about protecting Kenyans, and not what we gain, the little money that we gain from the few shillings that they spend in some clubs. That does not help us a lot.